As a pilot brings his small plane in without landing gear.
And as it turns out, he made a picture-perfect landing and no one was hurt. But then again, he has been there before.
9 reporter Mark Mathis is in the newsroom with the story. Mark?
And Jerry, everyone says that pilot made a great landing in his small Cessna 210, and for that he can thank a cool head, steady nerves, and a near miss that happened some 36 years ago.
Landing gear or no landing gear, in this case it didn't make much difference. The small plane made it safe and sound. Still, those fire trucks were not just a precaution. One wrong move could have meant disaster. So instead of getting scared, pilot Bill Mirams got busy.
So you just don't give yourself a chance to get scared, too scared. There's always apprehension.
Mirams had just taken off when he noticed a problem with his left landing gear. It refused to lock into place even when he tried desperately to do so by hand. The only other option was an emergency landing, easier with the other two gear also up. So after 20 long minutes, Mirams put the plane down, all of it on one eye bolt.
You can see this is the part of the plane that touched first and scored the runway slightly, and then it went down facing the proper direction and settled down, and there was no significant damage.
Just a badly bent propeller and a dented underbelly. Even mechanics who've seen plenty of damage call it a first-rate bit of flying.
I would say from looking at this damage that you couldn't do any better.
But then again, this isn't the first time the 62-year-old pilot has cheated death. In fact, he still carries the newspaper clipping in his wallet. It tells how a young Lieutenant Bill Mirams ejected from his Marine fighter plane back in 1960. He says he'll never forget the fireball that followed or the lesson he learned.
I'd say that the cooler anybody can keep, why, the more likely a good ending, good scenario is going to come of it.
A philosophy that Bill Mirams has lived by, a philosophy that may have saved his life.
Mirams makes frequent trips from his home in Sun Valley. He says insurance will cover the damage, and yes, he plans to keep flying. Carolyn, Jerry?
Boy, talk about believing in yourself. He sure does. Thanks, Mark. Other news.